I was born in St. Louis and raised in Senegal.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad made
That's
sure.
why you got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, man. My father made sure we was all born in the States, so we wouldn't have no immigration issues.
Smart
He was
man.
super. Yeah, he was a forward thinker.
Okay.
And then shortly after birth, he would send us all back to Senegal. And then we was raised up there until it was time to go to school. Around 12, I moved back to St. Louis, went to middle school, then I moved to Jersey from there. So every summer we would go back home and then back to school when school started.
Sick.
After I graduated high school, I decided to stay in the States.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, with the business side of things, where'd you get your business acumen from?
That's just hustling, honestly, because I never went to college,
Right.
never got no major degrees. I just knew how to get creative, you know?
And you got into diamonds as well, right?
Yeah, I was involved in the diamond business between 2008 and 2012.
What made you want to get into diamonds, bro?
Well, at the time, the diamond exchange was perfect because hip hop was probably more vibrant than it ever has been. And that was around the time where everybody would take their advance money and just go buy gold chains and rings and watches. So I just supplied all the jewelers.
That's crazy. That
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it was like the best business in the world because I was in the mix of all these dudes. I'm collaborating with all of them. Whenever they get money, they calling me for discounts on jewelry and things of that nature. And then that's when I decided to invest in a mine in South Africa. And then ultimately, it became one of them things where you start realizing, okay, South Africa is cool, but it was very dirty the way they did business over there.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I've never seen business being conducted so cutthroat.
Wow.
Like, the diamond business was worse than the drug game, literally.
Wow.
Right? And then you got places like Sierra Leone that wasn't quite stable, but had issues dealing with that. And then the whole concept and marketing of what was happening in these gold and diamond mines, you know, became really negative. And then they start coming up with all these things that was happening relating to diamonds, and it became this big blood diamond campaign. And my name was just a little too, you could say popular, or I was a little too accessible to be attacked in that market had I stayed in the business. So I sold my shares out because I didn't want to get caught up in my name getting tagged up with blood diamonds.
I hear that.
So I just popped out of it. Even though I saw how dirty that business could be.
Right.
I just said, nah, this is cool. I made enough money doing it. It's not worth it.
I felt like you went quiet for a while. You disappeared. You vanished. You went underground. And then you came out. And then the first thing I hear is Akon supplying electricity to 600 million Africans. What the hell, bro?
Yeah, that was something actually I tried to keep quiet for as long as I possibly could.
Mad. That's the maddest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was one of them things where it started as a philanthropy movement where I wanted to just be able to give lights to people that never experienced lights before in Africa, in the rural areas. And I realized the need for it was just so vast. And man, the first thing that popped up was like, okay, once we supply lights, then what? What happens after that? You know what I mean? So I wanted to create.
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to create something that was sustainable. So we changed from going to a nonprofit organization into a for-profit business. Because for-profit, you can actually do a lot and give a lot more back. So with that, we decided to be able to hire the locals to empower them to be able to maintain, install, and just be a part of a business. They got a day-to-day job maintaining, and they're getting paid to do it. And then all the money that we made from the projects and the contracts that we signed with government, we would put that money back into it and open up a whole nother market and do the same thing.
Mad. I saw online that you was getting some resistance, or the president you was talking to as well.
Yeah, because originally I wanted to just be in a power business in general, but then I didn't realize how many, silos of power there was, from renewable to wind to solar, to the regular generation of oil and gas, and it was just. But all I knew was the basic oil and gas. So I reached out to a few friends, try to get a power plant, and raise some money to build a power plant. And
raise some money? How much? Because billion from the
at
Chinese?
the time, that came after. At the time,
okay.
To do the power plant, it would have cost about $250 to $500 million. But the size power plant I wanted to build at that time was close to $1 billion.
So where'd you get that money from?
I never got that money because they wouldn't accept it.
Oh, wow.
I was able to raise a verbal raise saying, okay, if you can get the contract to do it, we can pull the money up. But then I realized that I couldn't get the yes, because if that money would have been put up, it would have been a bigger issue.
Right.
So that's when the president was like, listen, the business that you're getting into is the kind of business that create wars.
Mad.
And that's when I thought about it and was like, okay, this is a lot more, this is way above my, you know.
Didn't you get scared or?
Nah, I really didn't get scared because I didn't know what I was being afraid of. But I knew that Saddam just got iced out over some oil. So I knew it was serious. I said, hold up. Akon can't be the next person they coming after. And next thing you know, I got drones over my building and all that. I said, you know what? It's not that serious. So I said, I'm going to find another way. And that's when I came across the more renewable side of it. And I felt like Africa needed to go in that direction anyway. And that's when I thought about doing solar. And then I reached out to a few friends that knew anything about solar. And then a friend of mine named Chon was the first person I went through who introduced me to Samba. And then he's been in the business a long time. So who connected me, you know, with the Chinese. And then after presenting to them exactly what I wanted to do in the whole continent and open up that market for Africa, that's when they realized that they also was looking to get into Africa and needed the right window to go in. So I created a partnership with the Chinese and they gave me $1 billion credit line to start.
A credit line?
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah, so then later as we moved on, I decided to say, okay, cool. How about we just build mini grids in every corner of every village? So that way that grid now powers the whole village. And then through that village, we can create a payment mechanism where they pay for their own electricity. But instead of paying these high electricity prices, we're getting solar practically free from the sun. They'd just be practically just paying for the setup and a little bit of profit to keep the business going. We subsidize the price of their energy for what it would cost for them to buy either candles or kerosene fuel for their kerosene lamps.
Man.
So now they were able to get, you know, free electricity practically without the hazard that comes with it, and we was able to create the structure that we can now use them to be able to pay for their, you know, electricity bill via cell phone or text messages. And that's how the Akon cryptocurrency came on board, because now we have a product that we can sell them that's not tied to the actual you could say dollar or their currency that continues to go up and down. It's never been stable.
So where in Africa is the electricity? Where?
It's all throughout West Africa, and then we have 2 countries in East Africa that we have pilots, which is Rwanda and Kenya, and all the other ones are all more West African based. But we're now about to branch out into North Africa and Central Africa as well. Yeah. I invest everything in Africa, man.
Okay.
That's the goal. That's where everything needs to be invested. Because that's where you're going to get your value and your investment back.
Yeah, I'm from Ghana, so my parents are from Ghana. The amount of Americans that come into Ghana right now.
I'm telling you, you guys are sleeping. Y'all sleeping, man. I'm telling you.
They literally do a lot of
Listen
sleeping.
to me. You guys are sleeping, especially all the Ghanaians here in the UK.
Talk to them, bro.
What? If you guys are not investing right now, you're missing all the opportunity. You're literally missing the opportunity. By the time you guys figure it out, it'll be too late. I promise you.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying.
Listen to me.
I'm hearing you.
Imagine New York City before it was New York City.
Oh, bro.
The one family that understood the value, which was the Rockefellers, they owned the city. All those buildings and land that they invested is all paying off today because they got in early. Ghanaians have that access right now. As you know, the property value is raising and going up higher and higher every year. When you got access to grab it all right now, they're going to build on it. That's the only place left to develop. So whatever dollar you have or pound, trust me, you need to buy land in Ghana or anywhere in Africa ASAP.
Words from Akon. I don't even know what to say after that, to be honest.
Don't even wait.
I hear you loud.
Okay.
So
the woman has to be able to know who you are and understand who you are. See, the thing is, most times when relationships happen, the communication is always kind of bleak and no one's speaking and understanding each other.
And they're thinking a lot of things.
Yeah, it has to be known. Like, it has to be very clear as to what it is you are, who you are, and how that's going to affect the relationship.
Right.
She has to be willing to deal with that coming in.
Right.
She almost has to condition herself to know that dealing with this kind of man, this is what I would have to face and deal with. But you got to also be 1,000% honest with her to let her know exactly what that is. Because women oftentimes are, they build their lives around what you tell them. So if you tell a woman this, then she constructs herself to what you're telling her. But most people have problems, men and specifically, is because they start lying from the moment they meet them.
True.
To say, okay, I'll do this, I do that.
Trying to impress as well.
Trying to impress.
Yeah.
When a woman likes you, she likes you. She don't really care about all that extra stuff. Now, some of that is great to have, you with that, but if you already have her mind thinking that's what it is, she's adjusting her life to that. So later down the line, she finds out that she's adjusted to something that's not even real or even true. And then people wonder why women be flipping out on you.
Yeah, true.
You know?
That's another source of income. Love